Welcome back everyone to my Animal Crossing New Horizons series, Day 7. Last episode we finally were able to get both the museum and the shop. This episode will move on forward and I'm just gonna go ahead and do some daily tasks as well as check out the houses of both of my starter villages. As usual, we do have these announcements from Tom Nook these days, which is pretty cool. Let's see if he has anything special to tell us. Ooh, okay. Nothing to report, I guess, other than the cold. That's alright. At the end of the last episode, we did go ahead and build a bridge, which is actually now ready. We can also go ahead and talk to Tom Nook to further on his plans to better this island. I think probably we'll have to go ahead and talk to him about the different new villages that are moving in, as well as the items that they probably will need for their home construction. But I think we are ready for that. I have in the offline gathered some items that we might need. Most of it is just cutting up woods. I've also gone ahead and moved the game forward by a day so that I'll be able to pick up more items. This way I think I have enough to go ahead and talk to Tom Nook today and get all of the items that we need to craft for each of the houses. As usual, as a part of the new day, I would definitely go ahead and check out the shop first. But before that, I did get quite a few bells yesterday. This was where I was playing offline, of course. The main reason for having this many bells is to buy all the furnitures and try to complete the loan that I have for this house. Apparently my storage is actually almost full and I have been avoiding, I guess filling up my loan, which I have to do at some point. But checking out the shop, we do have 2 to 3 items that I'm really interested in. So definitely let me quickly go ahead and buy them. The first one is this go board. Now I think I'll actually go ahead and give this to one of my villages, whichever one I actually meet first. But as for this tapestry, I want this for my house, so I think I'll buy this for the front living room. The mirror is gonna be quite helpful considering that we do have the option of changing our character style. This can be done more once I have bought quite a few items from Nook's Top, but even without it we can still use this mirror. As for the last item, which is this record player right here, I think I'll buy this one as well, although I'm not really sure if I want to use it. Probably I can keep this right next to my bed in the main bedroom, but since I don't really have that yet, I think I'll just buy this and keep it in the storage. The other item that I'm very interested in checking out is probably the flowers that we can actually find, as well as the wallpaper and flooring. Sometimes we do have some really good wallpaper which I definitely would love to buy. As for these recipes right here, nothing new in them. But let me quickly go ahead and buy some flowers. After all, we do need to have a lot amount of flowers apparently to raise the evaluation of our island or the score of our island itself. I have been thinking about a garden right next to my house, but I don't think that would be the final design for my island, so I'm not too worried about buying all of these flowers and planting them. At some point I do have to go back and think about where I have planted them right now and probably change it. Usually when I am kind of doing a terraforming on my island, I like to move my plants or any kind of flowers that I have actually planted to the beach. It's a really good place for you to actually keep your flowers in case if you don't really want to get rid of them, but do want to kind of move them to a different area. There we go, we have completed another Nook Miles task as well. And now that I have everything I need from the shop, I can finally actually leave. The next thing up in my checklist is to go ahead and talk to both of my villages. As you might know, we do have a Nook Miles task which will actually complete if you do talk to your villages every single day. The task is actually on how friendly your villages actually are with you. Once more, I did find Flo outside. Sadly, I am not still able to visit her house. Hopefully in the future, we'll be able to check her house out as well. Now that we are able to kind of give her an item, let me quickly talk back to her, and there is an option where I can say here's a gift and give her an item. Now if you are trying to raise the friendship of a villager, I would definitely recommend gift wrapping it because that will give you more points. In this case, since I didn't buy any gift wraps, I'm just gonna go ahead and give this item to Flo. And of course she returns back a homework set. Okay, I was not really expecting a homework set. I thought maybe she'll give me a clothing item, but alright, I'm gonna do something fun here. I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of it. I don't think a homework set is something I want to have in my house. So either I can sell it or I can actually give it to Mac right here. Let's talk to him first before I do give him the item. There we go. Giving him the homework set. Now, you can do this, but there is one bad thing about this is that they'll actually display this item in their house. So, if you don't want them to display an item, then avoid gifting that item to them. Probably you can just give them something that might kind of good look with their interior design. In this case, I'm not too worried. At some point, I'm pretty sure it will be either Mac or Flo that will be leaving this island first. Hence, I'm not too worried about the items that I do give them. Ooh, okay. We do have another special character right here. Her name is Sahara, and she's actually gonna be giving us different types of rugs. I should probably rephrase it and say she sells us 3 different types of rugs. And each of them are gonna be the same, so even if you buy multiple of the same type of rug, it's gonna be the same one. I'm just gonna go ahead and buy all 3 of them. Now she does have a special mechanism where if you buy a rug, she gives you a special ticket, and once you have 5 of them, you can exchange it for a mysterious wallpaper or a mysterious flooring. In my experience, I have never gotten a really good wallpaper or flooring from her, so I'm not too thrilled about it, but I guess I'll take the ones that she does give. Since I do need more rugs for my house and it's something that you can't actually buy from the Nook's Cranny, I do have to actually buy the ones that she has unless I do get it gifted from another villager. I'm a bit excited to see what I get. Sometimes you do get some really good rugs from her, which does suit the theme that you are actually going for. So definitely it is worth, buying all the rugs she has. Anyway, once that's done, let's check out on our bridge. So here it is. It's pretty simple, just looks like a couple of logs tied down together. It's nothing like the other bridges that we are going to be constructing pretty soon. So definitely it is different. Now you could use this bridge for a different aesthetic. Probably if you are going for a field kind of design. But in my case, I'm not seeing myself using it. So probably at some point I will take it down. Back at my house, let's check out all of the mats that she did give us. The very big one definitely looks pretty cool. It does have a red color on it, so I think it looks pretty cute. The kitchen mat though, I don't think I want to use this one. For now, I'll just place it here, but I might actually move it to another room once I have other rooms available. Other than that, the wallpaper that I did get from her was actually a future tech wall, which definitely does not set the theme with this room. So I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it in my storage. The next thing I wanna do is go ahead and check out the main tent. Now I'm not gonna talk to Tom Nook right here because I think I still have a couple other things to do before this. I haven't really done my daily task of finding the fossils, shaking up the trees and hitting the rocks. So probably I'll do that before I talk to Tom Nook. But of course I did want to check out Nook's Stop right here. Pretty cool. We have couple different items that I do want to still buy, but I'll just wait a little bit more to get more Nook miles before I start buying. The main reason I'm doing this is because once you get a 3-star island, you actually have to buy the construction items that you need to kind of use for terraforming. Those kits will definitely cost a lot, and I do need to have a lot of Nook miles for buying them. I guess that's all we have. I mean, the only other thing left to do is just deposit the amount of bells I have. I don't really have too much, but I'm hoping to make enough to kind of complete the loan at least by this episode or the next one. I did go around the island and complete all the daily tasks. The next thing to do is go ahead and assess my fossil with bladders right here. Hopefully I have enough to kind of donate again. I'm actually planning to complete my art museum as well as my fossil museum as soon as possible. At least I'm able to donate these many fossils on a daily basis. Unfortunately, that's not the case for the art. I think I might take some time with the art though, but let's see if we can find and fill all the fossil museums as soon as possible. Seems like we do have a couple of them that we can donate. So let me quickly make a donation. Not bad. Out of 4 of them, I am able to actually donate at least 3. The reason there are only 4 right now is because I actually wasn't able to find the 5th one. Maybe I might have actually seen it but missed it. Definitely I do have to go back and try to find the 5th one. But for now I can go ahead and at least sell out 1 fossil. After all, we do need to complete the loan today. A bit further in the day, I actually went back to the game to see if I can get more items, and I got 30,000 bells from a balloon gift. This is pretty cool. I'm not really sure how rare, getting money is from this, but this is actually the second time I was able to get 30,000 bells from a balloon gift. Alright, I think it's finally time for us to go ahead and talk to Tom Nook again and get forward with the storyline. Now I know this game does not have a storyline as per se, but you do have certain tasks that you have to move on forward. In this case, that would definitely be talking to Tom Nook. He wants us to go ahead and place 3 houses using the housing kit. And as far as I see, I think I do have around 3 places where I want to put the house. I haven't really thought too much about it because once again, our current aim is to just get a 3-star island. Definitely, as far as I've seen, there are certain things that are needed for the island to be 3-star. The main and important thing would definitely be having around 10 villages in your island. Other than that, you definitely do have to have plenty of flowers as well as outdoor items just placed around the island. These outdoor items can be any kind of furniture that is actually counted as an outdoor item to be present. You can't really drop any items on your island. You do need to make sure that it's not actually cluttered. Also, try to remove all of the unwanted plants that is weeds in this game, and make sure that the path is pretty clear. In this case, I think it would also count the entire island, which means the other levels that are present as well. So you do have to make sure that your whole island is completely clear and does not have any random items on the floor. You also need to have a museum, shop as well as Able Sisters clothing store. The resident services building should be upgraded as well. Overall, just make sure your island is super clean. I think those are the criteria for a 3-star island, and if you have cleared up all of the things, your island is super clean, then I think it's pretty easy to kind of get the 3-star. Right here, I'm just placing the 3 housing kit that I did get from Tom Nook. The first one is quite close to where my airport is. So this one will probably be the first house you might see if you enter my island. As soon as I place the first housing kit, of course Tom Nook just calls me, and he's just making sure that we are able to have a perfect place for the house, as well as the box that's actually placed right next to it. What he is requesting us is that he wants us to create a few interior and exterior items. The interior items are to be placed inside the box, whereas the exterior items are supposed to be placed right next to the house. You do have a certain area, though you can't keep the exterior items pretty far, but you have to keep it within the vicinity where the house is. Right here, Flo actually told me about a new reaction. Now this isn't the first time I did get a reaction, because offline when I was just running around, Mac was the first villager to kind of teach it to me, and after that I did get a couple of them from the shop itself. So definitely this isn't the first one, but I was at least able to catch this one on when I was actually playing. As for the second house, I'm just trying to see if I can keep it right behind my house. That way it will look pretty good. But of course we do have quite a few trees here, so I'm actually being a bit careful. If you don't want to lose so many trees, you can definitely try and get an axe, cut it down, and that way you'll be able to get some items before the trees are forever gone. In my case, sadly I don't really have an axe, so I'm just gonna go ahead and place the house here. That is pretty good. I did lose around 5 trees, but I'm not too worried about it because my island has so many trees and I do need to get rid of some of them. Once more, once I place the second house, we still get another call from Tom Nook. So we do have one more house left to place, of course. This one, I was actually thinking of keeping it right next to the resident services. Now I could have placed it the other side of the island right next to the bridge, but I actually wanted to have my initial villages right where I am, so that it's much easier and accessible to kind of talk to them on a daily basis. So I think this is a really good area for me to actually keep it. Let me quickly imagine the spot as to how it actually looks. While placing this house, I actually didn't realize this, but I was super close to Mac's house. I should have actually seen this in the map before I placed it, but oh well, I guess this is gonna be it. Alright, now that we have all the 3 houses placed, apparently this time Tom Nook didn't actually call us, so we do have to go back and talk to him. Before you talk to him, if you do check out the box that is right next to the house, it actually tells you the items that you will need to kind of craft. Well, I did talk to Tom Nook and he really didn't have anything to tell, so I'm just gonna check out all the items I need to craft before we move on forward. So this is the first house. Alright, that is the interior and the exterior items are gonna be right here. As far as I remember, most of these items are gonna be the same. So if you are starting another new island, you again have to just craft all of these same items. There might be a couple of them that are a bit different, but for most part, no matter which villager you get in 3 of these houses, regardless of that, the items here for the interior or the exterior, most of them are the same. Alright, let me check out the exterior for the second house. So we do need a lot of iron nuggets once more, because we have the iron garden chair and iron garden table. The main thing I would definitely recommend you guys to do is get more items for 2 to 3 days. Just don't talk to Tom Nook if you don't have the items. Go ahead, get all of these items and then talk to him so that you'll have everything ready to kind of craft it at once. Alright, here we have wooden items. So definitely we need the softwood, hardwood and other items. For another house there, I did see that we need orange items. So I do need to have orange fruits which are in my island. If you see, none of my trees actually have the fruit, but thankfully I do have a couple of them in my storage, so I can quickly go ahead and get them as well. Well, from now on is gonna be a compilation of me just crafting all of these items. I did have to go multiple times back and forth the house just to get all of the items I needed. But for now, I do have a couple different items I can actually craft, just like this wooden chair, the wooden table, the simple bed, the couple of the DIY recipes which I don't really need to craft right now, which I'll actually avoid. Probably once I do have all the items that are needed for all the 3 houses, I might actually come back and craft the other items just to, increase the aesthetic of the island as well as for my house itself. There we go, that is the water pump. I really like the water pump recipe though. It looks pretty cool and definitely there are quite a few places you can actually place them. The same kind of goes for the swing recipe as well. You can definitely use it in multiple areas in different type of ways. The next thing I did want to craft right here is the log. I actually really like the log recipes in this game. Not only the ones I actually have here, but the other ones as well. You can actually craft log speakers and sofa set, which is pretty amazing. I think you might have seen me actually do that in my previous island. And if you haven't, just go ahead and check out my previous island that I did actually reset. The link for that is gonna be coming up right now, or you can also check the description as well. But moving forward with the items that I needed to craft, I think I'm almost done with the items I have. Probably I do have to go back at some point. But right here I'm creating the iron items, the iron garden items. These ones are pretty cool, but I really wish they were in a different color. I mean, green is good and all, but I think either brown or black would have made it so much better. Alright, let's see what else is left. For a couple of items, I did see that we need to craft the wooden toy in order to kind of craft the other item. So probably I do have to craft it first. Since we had a lot of items to craft, I actually had to go back and write down everything that I needed to craft, or else there was no way for me to actually remember them. I also had to make multiple visits to my house just because either my inventory would be filled or that the items that I actually needed were not enough. So I had to go back and get them as well. Luckily for me, I was able to craft most of the items other than the orange table. Unfortunately, I did not have enough oranges for that, so I had to actually wait. Now surprisingly, I had one tree that still had oranges in it, and it was the tree right next to my house. The main reason for leaving that tree alone was just because it looked so good right next to my house, and I thought having fruits in the tree would look pretty. But unfortunately, since I do need it for this item crafting right here, I just went ahead and plugged the fruits once again. So I guess I do have to wait for a couple of days to kind of go ahead and get the oranges to kind of respawn. I think I'm almost done with all the items that I had to kind of craft. So there we go. Let me go ahead and place in all the items that I actually have now, and the rest of them I think I'll place them tomorrow. The very first house is this one right here, the plot number 1. Checking out the interior items, I can quickly go ahead and submit all of them. They are right here. As for the exterior item, I do have to kind of place it around the house, so let me quickly go ahead and do that. The first item is the stone table, which I placed right next to the house, but I was a bit worried that it might be outside the parameter where we have to place it, so I'm just gonna move it around a bit. This is good. Let me place the next item, which would be the clothesline. For the clothesline, I think having it right next to the side of the house would look pretty good. Alright, that's good enough. I'm not gonna be worried too much because once the house actually spawns, it will reset and it will look pretty good. Of course, the last item for this house was the stone stool, which I went ahead and placed it next to the table. So that's all for both the interior and the exterior items for lot 1. Pretty cool. Now, as for the items for the other 2 plots, I think I'll actually go ahead and place them in the next episode. I know that I wanted you guys to actually have this in the same one, but unfortunately I don't really have all the items ready yet. So I'm just gonna go ahead and move it to the next one. Alright, so that's all I had for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you'd like to support me more in a personal way, check out the links in my description. And I'll see you guys in the next one.